The Samsung Galaxy S20 range has finally been launched, and today we'll be covering everything right after this. Today's video is sponsored by iBlassen, who provide a huge range of cases for the Samsung Galaxy S20. They can be found at amazon.com/iBlassen or search S20 by iBlassen on Amazon. Alternatively, you can use the links in the description. They're also giving away a free Galaxy S20 Ultra, and you can be in with a chance to win by following the link at the homepage at iBlassen.com before the 11th of March. They offer a wide range of cases to protect your Galaxy S20s, including their most popular Aries and Cosmo range. The Aries cases offer great protection and style while still showing off your phone's actual color variant, and they were drop test certified by CNET at 20 feet. The Aries full body cases have deeply raised bezels around the display and the lenses. They've got texturized edges and buttons, and it's water resistant thanks to its precise cutout for all ports and plugs that keep out dirt, dust and moisture. And on top of all that, they also work with wireless charging. The Cosmo collection takes more of a stylish approach to their protection, with many different designs which are also available for iPhone, iPad and the Apple Watch. We've also got the Cosmo wallet editions available for the Galaxy S20, allowing you to store your cards conveniently on your phone. So the Samsung Galaxy S20 has finally been launched, and we now know everything there is to know, although we sort of did already. For those who missed the launch yesterday, they showed off all three models of the Galaxy S20, along with the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. In a daring move from Samsung, they actually used Samsung Galaxy S20s to shoot and livestream the whole Unpacked event in San Francisco. The camera crew were given the task of doing the whole event with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultras, and it ended up being a huge success. We had great detail even with the low light conditions, and people were unaware until they were told at the event. The Galaxy S20 Ultras were placed into stability devices, but that was it. When it comes to pretty much everything about the Galaxy S20s, it turned out the leaks were correct. On Leaks was pretty much spot on about the design, and the various other leaks we had on hardware and pricing turned out to be correct. Pre-orders are now open, so we'll run through each model to let you guys know what you'll be getting in terms of specs and design. If we start with the most affordable, the Samsung Galaxy S20. With the Samsung Galaxy S20, we get a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 3200 and an aspect ratio of 20 by 9, giving us 563 pixels per inch density. It has an in-display fingerprint scanner, HDR10+, is protected by Gorilla Glass 6, and it allows 120Hz when using a Full HD Plus resolution. We've got a punch hole selfie camera top center, and this houses a 10 megapixel wide angle camera with an aperture of f2.2. If we turn to the rear, we can see we've got a triple camera setup in the rectangular housing. We get a 12 megapixel wide angle as the primary with an aperture of f1.8. We get a 64 megapixel telephoto with 3x hybrid optical zoom and an aperture of f2.0, and finally we get a 12 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of f2.2. The Galaxy S20 is capable of shooting 8K at 30 frames a second, 4K at 60 and 1080 at up to 240 frames a second. It's powered by the Snapdragon 865 in USA and the Exynos 990 globally. The USA variant is only available in 5G, whereas global users have the choice of 5G or LTE. It comes with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 internal storage, which is of course UFS 3, and we can expand the storage using an external micro SD. The Galaxy S20 provides stereo speakers but no 3.5mm headphone jack, and it's all powered by a 4000 mAh battery with 25-watt fast charging via wires, 15-watt wireless charging and 9-watt reverse wireless charging. The phone ships with Android 10 in the form of One UI 2, and the pricing is as follows. For the USA 5G variant it's $1,000, and for the UK it's £800 for 4G and £900 for 5G. Next up, we've got the middle range Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. The Galaxy S20 Plus comes with a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a resolution of 1440 by 3200 and an aspect ratio of 20 by 9, giving us a density of 525 pixels per inch. Again, it's protected by Gorilla Glass 6, it supports HDR10+, and it has an in-display fingerprint scanner. The display supports 120Hz, but only when using a Full HD Plus resolution, and the selfie camera on the Galaxy S20 Plus is a 10 megapixel wide angle with an aperture of f2.2. When it comes to the rear, we've got a quad camera setup using a 12 megapixel primary sensor with an aperture of f1.8. We get a 64 megapixel telephoto with 3 times hybrid optical zoom and an aperture of f2.0. We get a 12 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of f2.2, and finally a 3D time of flight depth sensor. Again, it supports 8K at 30 frames a second, 4K at 60, and 1080p up to 240. It's powered by the Snapdragon 865 in USA and the Exynos 990 globally, and it comes with 8GB of RAM and 128 storage for the LTE, but for the 5G model we get 12GB of RAM with a choice of 128, 256 or 512 storage. Again, this is UFS 3 and can be expanded with microSD. On the Galaxy S20 Plus, we get a 4500 mAh battery with 25W fast charging using wires, 15W wireless and 9W reverse wireless charging. The S20 Plus 5G starts at £1,000 in the UK and $1,200 in the USA. Finally, we've got the most expensive and most premium model of the range, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. The Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has a huge 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's got a resolution of 1440 by 3200 and an aspect ratio of 20 by 9, giving it 511 pixels per inch. Again, it supports 120Hz at Full HD Plus, is protected by Gorilla Glass 6 and supports HDR10 Plus with an in-display fingerprint scanner. The selfie camera on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, however, is a huge 40 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f2.2. When it comes to the rear of the Galaxy S20 Ultra, we've got another quad camera setup, but we have many improvements over the S20 Plus. The primary camera is a huge 108 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f1.8. We also get a 48 megapixel periscope lens with 10 times hybrid optical zoom and an aperture of f3.6. We get a 12 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of f2.2, and finally we get a 3D time of flight depth sensor. Again, we get 8K video at 30 frames a second, 4K at 60, 1080p up to 240, and the S20 Ultra also has a 100 times zoom using hybrid and digital zooming. Again, it uses the Snapdragon 865 in the USA with the Exynos 990 globally, but the Galaxy S20 Ultra comes in a choice of either 12 or 16GB of RAM, and 128, 256 or 512 storage. Is of course UFS 3 and supports expandable storage via microSD. The Galaxy S20 Ultra is powered by a huge 5000 mAh battery, and this supports 45W fast charging using wires, 15W wireless charging and 9W reverse wireless charging. It's starting at $1,400 in the USA and £1,200 in the UK, so it is expensive, but we do get some great hardware inside. So that's finally the full specs for all 3 models of the Galaxy S20. The phones have now been launched and they're going to be released on the 13th of March. Pre-orders are already available from Samsung's website, and they're also offering early upgrades as well as trade-in deals. Of course, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Are you all happy that the Galaxy S20 leaks were correct? Who out there is going to be getting a Samsung Galaxy S20, and which model will you be getting? But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.